Well, hello and welcome to The Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Now it's been a while since we've had a Canadian whisky. In fact, I haven't done a Canadian whisky at all this year. So I thought I'd pull out the stops a little bit and we'll go with the Lot 40 cask strength 100% rye whisky. I've only done 4 or 5 Canadian whiskies on the channel. Generally, I find them a bit awful. No, not awful. I just find them very, very boring generally. And it's sad because they're quite cheap. The others I've done, the nearest I've come to one that I would buy would be the Northern Harvest rye from Crown Royal. But otherwise, they don't really interest me. But I heard about this one and I thought it was worth a punt. I paid 33 Canadian dollars plus tax. Its normal price is 36. Nice colour. Don't know if it's natural or not. Doesn't say. And this is unusual because it's 100% rye. I think there's rather a lot of unmalted rye in here, if not 100% of the mash. Bottled at 43% volume, and it's actually distilled in batches in a pot still at the Hiram Walker Distillery in Ontario. Is it Kitchener? No, Waterloo. So it's unusual in that respect. Generally, Canadian whiskies are distilled. It's a mash bill, or it's a blend, and distilled in a column still. But this is distilled in small batches in a pot still. What else do I know about it? $33 plus tax, regular 36 in BC. Other than that, I know very, very little. Let's see what we have. Definitely a rye whiskey. Sort of waxy. Oddly medicinal, actually. Can't quite put my finger on that because there's no peat involved. But there's if it's not phenolic, it's kind of a pleasant hospital disinfectant smell. That sounds very odd, but there is something oddly medicinal about it. There's sweetness going in as well, on top of the spice and the dusty grain. There's a kind of candy floss apple. There's a soft sweetness hiding behind the very brash rye. And a strawberry candy lemon sorbet, kind of lots and lots of pink grapefruit, maybe even yellow grapefruit. I do pick up an aloe vera or cactus sap, sweet cactus sap note. Certainly an alcohol note. It doesn't carry an age statement, but I don't think it's a 20-year-old whiskey. It carries a slightly young, slightly brash alcohol note, which is, fine. Hint of fresh ginger, raisins, dried fruits, maybe a little. Real peppery rye, pink peppercorns, and then later there's a kind of cheesecake or tiramisu kind of sweetness to it on the nose. And plenty of menthol as well. Don't know, a fairly singular character, but it's kind of wears its heart on its sleeve on the nose. loads and loads of rye. Obviously, this sounds a bit silly, but rye is definitely there. As I say, it wears its heart on its sleeve. There's a nice sweetness in the arrival. Brown sugar, loads of brown sugar. Alcohol note, yes. Tarragon, spices, cinnamon, kind of a muted spice as well as the big rye spice. It's oaky, juicy pear drops, slight acetone kind of note, mixed in with all that brown sugar, rhubarb, and there was a soda that you could buy in England. It's kind of fallen largely out of fashion now. It's called dandelion and burdock. Yeah, quite a lot of that on the palate as well. And now on the nose, that burdock. The finish, spicy rye, a kind of perfume or aftershave note, black pepper, rum and raisin, the typical grainy rye Canadian whiskey, and a ground ginger. So far, this is the only Canadian whiskey that's really inspired me. All of the others, I mean, I would happily mix with, but this I'm really, really happy to have on the shelves. I don't know why. It's just because it's so different. And most people in Canada, they're buying just absolutely awful whiskey all the time. Just buying the same bottle of Crown Royal. They sell it by the truckload, and so few people pick this up. I just don't understand. It's on, if you live in Canada, it's on the shelves at the liquor store for $35. Just don't understand why more people don't pick it up. Really nice surprise. I keep it in for when I want something that's very different. For example, if I've been drinking a couple of pints of very hoppy IPA, no point drinking a very light Scotch whiskey. You need something punchy. So I just reached for the Lot 40, and I found myself, I bought the bottle, knowing it wasn't a particularly big risk, but not sure if I would love it, and found myself very pleasantly surprised and looking forward to a dram of it in the evenings. So highly recommended, particularly if you can get it for a very good price. This is an excellent, this is the best Canadian whiskey I've had in my very limited experience, but I know it's a good one. Fantastic. Hope you enjoyed the review. Like, comment and subscribe, and hope to see you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.